Hi everyone, it's Kristie Taylor here. I'm super excited to be bringing you another line of stencils with StencilGirlProducts.com. This stencil that we're going to play with today is called Mandala Lace. It's a bunch of different mandalas all put together to look like lace, and you can do so many cool things with this stencil. Here I'm just using a micron pen and I'm just lining through each line on the stencil. Now this does take a while, so I'm going to speed it up some. You'll see me draw super fast here. Just go through each line of the stencil to draw out all of the beautiful mandalas. And I'm using a micron pen because I don't want something that's going to react with water. We are going to use Arteza watercolor brush pens to color in our design. And this micron pen will stay put pretty much whenever we add the water to activate our watercolor ink. Now we're going to use our Arteza watercolor pens and color in all of the little spaces in each of the stencils. Now, they don't have to be colored in completely because this ink is going to move a lot. Once we add the water, you'll see it's going to spread out and really fill in all the spots. I'm just adding some ink and trying to get some shading and coloration with the colors that I'm using. You can see that I'm not being very specific about where I put the color. I'm just kind of filling in spots. I have speeded this up because it did take me quite a while to color all those mandalas, but the end result is so worth the time. These markers by Arteza are a lot of fun and they're very reasonably priced. You can get some really beautiful and cool results with these. So I'm just going to keep coloring for a little while, and then once we get this mandala colored in, we'll spray it with some water to activate the inks, and you'll see the magic happen. Almost there. Okay, you ready for some magic? Watch this. Isn't that just beautiful? I just love the way the ink spread. Now I'm doing this on 100-pound cold press watercolor paper. So as you can see, the inks move very nicely with a little bit of water. And I just love how it turns out on here. So here I'm just picking a couple more colors, and I'm going to color in one of the other mandalas. This one's called Spiral Mandala. And I'm not being very specific about where I add the color, as you can tell. I'm just adding color in there. Just keep coloring. It's very therapeutic actually, and since you don't have to like specifically stay in the lines, it's just very relaxing, and I had a lot of zen moments making this page. And here comes the water. Spritz. I speeded it up some because coloring was pretty tedious, and I didn't think you guys wanted to sit and watch me color every single mandala. So we skipped some parts here. But here I am adding some color to this one. And give it a little spritz and let the colors move around. You can see me using a wet baby wipe there to dab up some of the extra water. I was trying to pick colors. Once again, we're not being very specific about where the color goes because once we add the water, it's going to move around anyways. I love this blue. It's my favorite. Another good thing about these markers is you can blend colors very easily. Even before you add the water, the colors are very blendable. Spritz it with a little water and watch the colors move around. Now let's add some color to our background. I wanted some lighter colors in the background, and I'm just doing random scribbling. That's really all it takes. This is the lightest of the colors in the pack. Now I'm adding some gray, just random scribbles, and back to that light color. It's like a pale orange, I guess, and a little bit of the yellow orange that's one of the colors I used in that big daisy flower there. And some water and a little bit of fingertip action and some wet wipes to blend it all together. And just dabbing up the extra water. Now I'm using an India ink pen to add some detail. I did go back and add quite a bit of lines with this because once I sprayed it with water, I really liked how it blended into the other colors. I laid the stencil on top and then used the stencil as a guide as to where to put some of the lines. This is an India ink pen by Higgins, and I'll show you the label here in just a moment. Spritz it with a little water and watch the India ink move into the watercolors. There's that India ink pen. Then after I spritzed it, I decided I needed a little more outline on some of those mandalas. Kind of help them stand out from the background and each other. See how that ink moves when it gets wet? I just love that. Now I'm just using a white gel pen to add more detail to all those beautiful mandalas. It really adds a nice touch on top of all those gorgeous colors. And it's a nice contrast with the black India ink. It really is a practice in, finding your zen and just relaxing. Um, it's a lot like coloring, and once you go to adding all the detail, it's just brings out all those gorgeous colors. I usually put on some relaxing music and just start doing it. Just like that. Made it sound easy and quick, didn't it? But look at that beautiful result. We have gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And these can be used in our art journals or just a beautiful piece of artwork to hang up all by itself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. Happy creating and happy stenciling.